Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. And I'm currently asking the people of America to consider me as the next president of the United States as a write-in. As a write-in because what I champion and what I bring to the American people can't be sold and can't be bought. It happens because it's real and the people want it. If the people don't want it, no amount of money will get it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your moment. You know, I've been hearing most recently that mayors of some of the largest cities where the pain and suffering were paramount over the past generations, at least the last couple, that some violence is continuing there, and the mayors of these cities are saying this stuff has got to stop. It has got to stop, and I hear that, and I'm asking myself, why? I mean, I know it's devastation. People are being killed by black people. They've been doing that all along. Children are accidentally getting killed now. But I'm asking you, what has changed? Here are some things that brought this massive disregard for the order that has been championed all our lives, was that we watched George Floyd be murdered right before our eyes. The divine power of heaven provided that for not just we here in America, but for people all over the globe to identify with the same pains and suffering that happens here. It's happening everywhere. And the fact that the powers that be, what represented here in America by white folk, and the power to enforce it with the police and the National Guard and whomever else they want. Well, this is why we have so much hell all around us, because this is the system that permits all of this kind of stuff and don't want to fix anything and want to send the police to kill anything that they can't fix or don't want to fix. Well, that might not make much sense to you, ladies and gentlemen, but you must ask the question. What has changed? The people protest after the world knows who we are. The people protested, not just in America, but everywhere. And so the people say, well, let's tear down some statues because treating people as second-class citizens started in slavery. So let's tear down those statues of people who benefited from slavery. Tell you what, let's acknowledge that we treated them wrong. Let's do that. And I guess let's let the football players play now and give everybody a chance to frustrate. But don't tear down no buildings now. Don't start any fires. Don't do those things that really matter to the white people. Don't burn up anything. You can protest. You know, they even came over the time when they would create a field set outside where nobody can see you and gave you permission to protest out there. So, you know, we let you protest in the streets. We even let you protest on the bridge a little while, but you got to move on out of the way because really, you really don't matter, you see. And so a few days passed, a month passed, and now you got the mayors in the cities who realize that the people are not buying into this stuff. We've been going through this stuff all of our lives. Why do you think the drug dealer is on the streets trying to make him some money? Because this is the system that we live in that says you've got to have money or you're not going to get anything. And yet they're trying to determine who gets the money and how much money they get. Why do you think people are robbing? How do you think people are stealing? Why do you think these things occur? And the only solution that the established order has is police and jails and prisons. So what they're actually saying is that you might be going through some pains and suffering, but we don't care. We're not going to fix that. And in fact, we got police who come and beat you. We'll tell you what we're going to do, and you have to go and accept it. And this is what they've been telling us all our lives. This is what they've been telling us all over the world. And now there are a few people who have said we're fed up with this and we're not going to take it. We're not going to go sit down. Yes, we're going to shoot our guns and it might hit some of our own people. We're going to shoot our guns and it might hit some of our children. But we're going to make sure that there's no rest, that the church is not going to sit down every Sunday talking about God and doing nothing about this situation, that the mayors and the cities who sit up here and perpetuate and encourage these types of systems to continue. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that I did a virtual exercise where I identified every city in the nation and asked every citizen of these cities to identify your problems, combine them together, take them to your city leaders, your alderman, your mayor, and ask them, can they resolve your problems? The problems are not enough money, can't pay your bills, paycheck to paycheck, can't get education costs, don't have health care costs. Tell the mayor to take it, handle it for you. And if they can't handle it, the system isn't designed to do that. But will they join with you as you go to the state capitol and talk to the governor and the state legislators? Will the mayors and the aldermen go with you, or will you have to go alone? If you have to go alone, you will go alone. And you will take the problems of all of the cities within the state to the state capitol and put it on the desk of those who say they are so bright. They are the state representatives. They are the leaders. Put your problem on the table. Show them where they failed at and ask them to fix it. They're not going to be able to do that. Then you take it to Washington. You think Washington's going to fix it? No way. Washington don't even care. If you ask Washington what they're thinking about right now, it's the economy. The economy, my friends. They're saying that you go back to work. This pandemic, this virus that's going on, that's taking lives, the leaders of the nation want to stop testing, want to stop recognizing and identifying that this even exists, want the news media to start reporting it and let people just die automatically. And as they die, maybe jobs will open up and other people can fill these jobs. And now people are getting the employment thing. It's keep going on up, and the nation keeps rolling, the economy keeps rolling, and the people who have been lying, cheating, and stealing, taking everything from you all your life are still doing it. And you got to go out there and try to sell drugs, knowing you might go to jail. Got you out there trying to hit somebody inside the head, rip somebody off, doing something. But they don't care. And they ask you and say, this stuff got to stop. Well, I'm asking the American people, and I'm asking the politicians and the leaders. When you wanted to deal with this virus, you know your president doesn't really care anything about it. But the people, you do. You want to end this thing. You want the scientists, you want those people who got the knowledge and the skills to take care of this business, to come up with some kind of treatment, a solution. That's what you want. Let me ask you this. In what boardrooms or what rooms are the discussions taking place about how we're going to make sure that these 400 years of treating these people, less than a real person, calling them 3/5? What are we going to do about their education benefits that they slag so far behind on? What are we going to do about their housing? What are we going to do about their cities that's dilapidated, falling all apart? What are we going to do about their health care and its stuff that just bogs them, make them so susceptible to this pandemic? Is that taking place anywhere? And if that's not taking place anywhere, then why should the people that are protesting stop? That's what we've been doing for 400 years. Stop it. So ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, I say to each and every last one of you, yes, they want you to stop, but they are not thinking about you at all. They are not thinking about you at all. And the Lord God Almighty is. And let me tell you what you should not settle for. You should not settle for any half-stepping, long-leaping, run-of-the-mill, bigot, lying, cheating, stinking, evil demon. What should you settle for? You should settle for, as people of color. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it one last time before I close out. People of color, take this lead. White people are not going to do anything for you. They can't. They cannot do it. They've been trained to do what they do, and they cannot do something else. They just can't. You have gone through the pain. You have suffered. You know you don't want to go through that anymore. And you don't want anyone else to go through that. And so you take the leadership. And what you do is that you recognize that when people determined that they were superior And more important, they devised a way to steal the resources of the earth and claim them as their own. They put their labels on it, Amco, Standard, Epsilon, and so on and so forth. They put their names on everything that is recognized, discovered already on this earth that has some value. Somebody got their name on it. And you'll be surprised at the number of the people that are invested in it, who got shares in it, who profiting at it at the same time, who have to put up with what's going on because they benefit from it. The pain that you go through, oh, they don't want nobody to know it. They just act like they all right. They go to church and they donate to tithes and offering. And so that makes them good citizens, the good kind of citizens that are allowed George Floyd to pass on out of this world. But see, ladies and gentlemen, as we, the people, we are going to make sure that these resources get used the way they were supposed to. We're going to make sure that we, the people of the United States of America, take care of our business and become a video, a tweet to the rest of the world of how to fix it. We, the black people and people of color, are going to fix America. We're going to make sure that every citizen got their needs, their wants, and their desires met. We're going to do that. Not only that, if you're talking about this stuff got to stop, this is how we're going to stop it. We're going to make sure that every household got access to food, clothing, and shelter for now, for the rest of their lives. As long as God says that food will grow and the means to food is available, it will be there and no one will be hungry in this country. This is what we, the people of color, are going to do. We're going to make sure that education is unlimited and unrestricted for every individual here. We know what education does. It makes you better at whatever it is you've been given to do. And we want the best out of you, because that means we get the best. We give the best. And so every citizen of this country will have access to education unlimited and unrestricted. Other than that, we will have health care from the womb to the tomb. And we are only going to have the best of everything. We are not making any stuff cheap, any stuff to tear away so we can rob you of your next few pennies. No, whatever we make will be made to last. Now, we realize it won't last forever, but it won't take up our time, just wasting time, trying to make some money. No, your houses we build will be immaculate. Your lawn, they will be manicured, laid out just like you want it. Your house will have in it what you want to have in it. Your driveways will have in it what you want to have in it. I mean, you're just going to live as though you're in heaven on earth, paradise on earth, because that's what God designed for you. We black people know that. I know that. And I'm telling you that. Now, in order for us to have all of these resources to at least meet the needs of 350 million people in America, every last one of us would benefit from that. So all of us who qualify to work, meaning we got the age, we got the abilities, and we want to do these kinds of things that needs to be done, and all things need to be done. Some things require additional education. You're ready. Some things don't require no education, and we're ready. And you who doing those gigs that require no education are entitled to everything that a doctor is entitled to. Well, you know, we might not have any reasons for lawyers, because when you only have reasons for lawyers when you're trying to con folks, and banks and money when you're trying to rip people off. And since we won't be doing any of that, what we're going to be doing is using our gifts, using our talents to make sure that everything is in abundance, so we can really live our lives and let our aspiration, let our imagination take us to places that we thought years and years ago that we would be now, but we aren't. But now we're going to get back on that path and go places that we have only dreamed of. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if the Republicans and the Democrats want the vote from the people of color, I ask you, can you guarantee what I just mentioned to the people of color? And if you can't guarantee it, why should they vote for you? And I say to the people of color, if they can't or won't guarantee that to you, why would you give them your vote? Especially when you got a black man, a man of color, who has been through this stuff generations, an elder man, who have been championed thy will on earth as it is in heaven for almost 40 years, who have the proposals and the plans that would engage each of us, the citizens, not just through our careers, but in the process of making sure that peace and all of this freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of our dreams are met. We won't be needing police to do that. We're taking care of that, because when the time it is denied, it hurts all of us. And any time it's lifted up, we are all lifted. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. People of color, black folks, you don't have to vote Republican and Democrat. You can vote for Eddie Marcus. Eddie Marcus. Now, I bring to you a message as I indicated earlier. I'm not selling it, and you can't buy it. It's heaven on earth. It's the answer to your dreams and your prayers. But in order for it, even though I bring it and offer it to you, in order for it to happen, you got to want it. You got to claim it. And how do you claim it? By going to those polls November 3rd and laughing, because this day has come. All this hell that has been produced your whole life by Republicans and Democrats are over, and you're playing a part in it by writing in Eddie Marcus. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen. This is the future for a new system, a change system, a system that is a joy to God from you. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.